thanks so much for joining us. I know it's been a busy day for you.
Yes, we're always busy, but then I'm a little hesitant to tell you how busy because we don't always get a lot of stuff done, and I can understand why your constituents and members might think that we aren't as busy as we say we are.
But I've got to ask you, for the second day, we see Attorney General Eric Holder there at your hearings on Capitol Hill, and for the second day, he can't answer any questions, give you any specifics about what went on with Operation Fast and Furious.
Well, I didn't want to get this personal today when I was asking him questions. First of all, you're very right. He didn't answer any questions. But I think that a letter I sent to him yesterday, I put a little P.S. down to the bottom. I said something like, I don't think you're being well served by your staff. In other words, I don't know whether he knows all that there is with this. And he never signs his own letters in response to members of Congress. And so somebody else signs it, and I don't know whether he even sees it, et cetera, et cetera. But I hope that my statement, little handwritten P.S. down the bottom, that I don't think you're well served by your staff, because he could have answered these questions. But here's another thing that you got to consider. He may not want to answer them even if he knew, because we've got plenty of evidence that everything they've told us is all wrong. And not only do we have plenty of evidence, but we've got emails from gun dealers. We've got questions that are on a tape from hearings that we've had down there, transcripts that we have with whistleblowers, and everything we're finding out from the grassroots, particularly in Arizona,
yes,
is completely contrary to what they tell us up here.
Yep, and you told them point blank that you take exception to the fact that they want to, have you hold off an investigation because they claim that anything they give to you is going to hinder other investigations they're involved in.
I say that for two reasons. Number one, or maybe three reasons. Number one isn't the whole point of a court case anyway, and a prosecution, get the truth out. So the Justice Department should be seeking the truth, too. Number two, regardless of that, we have a constitutional responsibility to make sure the administration is doing their job. We've got to have information to do that. And number three, when we had our staffs down there in Arizona taking testimony from these whistleblowers and other people, we asked a specific question of them. Is there anything that we're doing in our investigation that will hurt the prosecution and the cases that you're trying to? And each of these whistleblowers said definitely not.
And I know that I've talked with Dick DeGuerin, and he represents Carter's Country in Houston, one of the gun dealers involved with this. And they'll flat out tell you they feel like they've been abused, misused, and lied to by the ATF because they said they did everything they were told to do. And yet you've got Eric Holder up there saying he can't tell you what went on. I mean, he's in charge. I've got to ask you. I know that at the annual meeting, Wayne LaPierre, called for Holder to resign. He said if he doesn't know, he's got to go. Your reaction to that?
Well, my reaction is that, I suppose I could someday, every day, say some cabinet member ought to resign. But I don't know whether that helps our cause any. Not because I say it resign, but you get a new guy in, and then you got to start working with a new guy. I want action now. And so I don't think a resignation would help me get the action I want. So I want to put the pressure on the guy. But I don't mind LaPierre saying that, and it's intellectually honest thing to be saying, considering the fact that you either run your department or it runs you, and it looks to me like the department is running Holder. That's too often true in our bureaucracy, because there may be professional people down below that this was their idea, and they are not political appointees. They may be doing a lot of cover-up. I don't like to talk about cover-up. I can't prove a cover-up, but I can prove being stonewalled.
Yeah, and Senator, don't you find it amazing? I know what you're saying. He's a busy guy, and we all realize that Eric Holder's a busy man. But he couldn't even answer a question yesterday as to whether other offices, other than the Phoenix office, may have been involved in this.
Yeah,
and like Wayne says, who's running the store?
Yeah, and I've asked the same question of other cabinet people and couldn't get an answer either.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think it's going to take? I mean, where are we headed with this? Do you think?
Well, first of all, we didn't talk about this, but they often hide behind the fact that I'm a ranking member, we're in the minority, and they only have to answer questions for chairman. So we're saved by the fact that I can work with Congressman Issa. He's chairman of a committee. He's issued subpoenas. He's involved my staff in these transcripts that we've gotten from the grassroots of Arizona that basically say that people in the Justice Department are lying. And so I'm going to probably work more closely with the power of the chairman of the House committee to get this information. But I believe that we eventually get it.